Chapter 9, a paralytic healed. Getting into a boat, Yeshua crossed over the sea and came to his own city. And they brought to him a paralytic who was lying on a bed. Seeing their faith, Yeshua said to the paralytic, "Take courage, son, your sins are forgiven." And some of the scribes said to themselves, "This fellow blasphemes." Remember, they're always trying to catch him doing something wrong. And in the law of Moses, you don't call yourself God. You don't compare yourself to God. You can't claim that you can do things that only the Almighty can do. So they're assuming that he's blaspheming. And that's what they're trying to catch him on right there, okay? And Yeshua, knowing their thoughts, said, "Why are you thinking evil in your hearts? Which is easier to say, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Get up and walk'? But so that you know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." Then he said to the paralytic, "Get up, pick up your bed, and go home." And he got up, and he went home. When the crowd saw this, they were awestruck and glorified God, who had given such authority to men. So, basically, he's testing them. He's like, which is easier to say, that your sins are forgiven you and that's why you're healed, or get up and walk? So basically, he did both, if that makes any sense to you. He broke their parameters of what they thought he can do, and he basically explained to them in that moment and showed them that he is the Son of God and that he was given the authority to forgive sins and to heal based on that. So not only did he tell the man that his sins were forgiven, but then he also healed him and commanded him to get up and walk. That was a very powerful statement, okay? They're like, "Oh, this guy's blaspheming." And he's like, I don't want to say not only am I blaspheming, but watch this. What he's saying is he is the Son of God and he has the authority. So he demonstrated that right there, even though they were trying to catch him in something else. Very powerful. Matthew called. Yeshua went out from there and he saw a man named Matthew sitting in a tax collector's booth, and he said to him, "Follow me." Matthew got up and followed him. Then it happened, as Yeshua was reclining at the table in the house, behold, many tax collectors and sinners came and were dining with Yeshua and his disciples, okay? When the Pharisees saw this, they said to his disciples, "Why is your teacher eating with tax collectors and sinners?" But when Yeshua heard this, he said, "Is it not those who are healthy who need a physician, but those who are sick? But go and learn what this means. I desire compassion and not a sacrifice, for I did not come to call the righteous, but the sinners." So in other words, he's letting you know right then and there what his mission is. The Son of Man, the Son of God, was not sent to earth to hang out with the people who have no issues, okay? Or to hang out, in their case, with the people who are evil and are just never going to learn and are never going to change, okay? He came to the people who need him. So he's calling himself a doctor, and he's saying the doctor doesn't come and see people who are well. He comes to see the people who are sick. The tax collectors, the sinners, all the people of that time, they were sinners and they were bad, but they wanted to be good, and they saw the good in Yeshua and they let it change them, okay? The scribes and the Pharisees, all the high priests in the synagogues were not like that. They were closed-minded. They thought they were righteous when they really weren't. So that's what he's basically explaining. He's like, I came to those who are needy, who need salvation, who need redemption, who need the love and the forgiveness, not to those who don't think that they do. Miracles of healing. So, a synagogue official comes up to Yeshua and says, "My daughter has just died, but if you come to my house and lay your hand on her, I know she will live," displaying great faith, okay? His daughter was already dead. So basically he was asking Yeshua, knowing that Yeshua has the power to come and bring life back to her. Okay, a great statement of faith. And he was a synagogue official, somebody who was from the church, which obviously you don't read about too many synagogue officials in the Gospels who were supporters of Yeshua, but this was one of them, okay? Yeshua goes to the man's house. They already have the party, the wake people there playing flutes and all that kind of stuff. Yeshua tells everybody to leave. They start laughing at him because he says, everybody needs to leave. She is not dead. She is just asleep. They don't take him seriously, but they leave. He goes in the room. He touches her hand. She comes back to life, okay? That starts to spread like wildfire everywhere. Now, after he leaves and he's on his way to somewhere else, two blind men, they start following him. They start crying out to him, saying, Son of David, have mercy on us, okay? When he entered the house, the blind man came up to him, and Yeshua said to them, Do you believe that I am able to do this? And they said to him, Yes, Master. Then he touched their eyes, saying, It shall be done to you according to your faith. And their eyes were opened. And Yeshua sternly warned them, See that no one knows about this. But they couldn't contain it. So they went out and they spread the news about him throughout all the land. And as they were going out, a mute and demon-possessed man was brought to him. After the demon was cast out, the mute man spoke, and the crowds were amazed and were saying, Nothing like this has ever been done in Israel. But the Pharisees were saying, He casts out demons by the ruler of demons. Yeshua was going throughout all the cities, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom and healing every kind of disease and every kind of sickness. Seeing the people, he felt compassion for them because they were distressed and dispirited like sheep without a shepherd. Then he told his disciples, The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Therefore, beseech the master of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest. So, faith. The synagogue official, his daughter's dead. He has great faith that Yeshua can bring her to life. He brings her back to life. The two blind men, they don't even know who he is. They see him, or they can't see him, sorry. But they must have seen him from the spiritual, from the heart, from the soul, because they started calling him the Son of David, okay? Which means he's the Messiah. And when he asked them, Do you truly believe I could do this to you? They said, Oh yeah, we know you can, displaying great faith. Therefore, they both got their eyesight back, right? Now, the scribes and the Pharisees right away get mad. He only has this power to cast out demons and do these things because he himself is a demon. So they're basically trying to insult him, basically calling him Satan, right? That doesn't work, okay? So he goes throughout that whole area into all the synagogues, doing the same thing, healing every kind of disease and every kind of sickness. And, he just felt so much compassion for the people, that there were so many of them, they were in such great need, that he stops right there and he says, The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few, which means he's about to make a change and install some power into his believers.